Today's video is all about a very special occasion. It's the Laidley Pioneer Village's 50th anniversary, and I was asked to record some of the activities to help celebrate this grand occasion. It's hard to imagine that the Laidley Pioneer Village and Museum is run entirely by dedicated volunteers, and they're mostly retired, men and women who all share a similar interest in the preservation of the area. We also get to talk to a real blacksmith with over 20 years experience. We talk to a guy who's getting the damper set up. Now, if you don't know what damper is, it's a type of bread that's cooked over an open fire, and it is delicious. Just how it would have been baked back in the early settlers' days. So be sure to stick around to the end, because this really is a fascinating place to visit. I'm Robbie Greer, and this is my channel, Rusticated Art, where you get to watch inspiring content from the comfort of your own home. How cool is that? Alright, so today it's the, can we see that up there? The Laidley District Historical Society, which is the Pioneer Village, and it's the 50th anniversary today. And we're just getting set up. We're going to have a little wander around and I'll show you what's happening. This is my setup over here. Come on. Oh, what have we got here?
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah. Well, certainly plenty of souvenirs there. Yeah. Yeah, over here is the cafeteria or the canteen. Where everyone sits. Well, mostly the volunteers, when they're here they have lunch in there and smoko and all that. They spent quite a bit of money on doing all that up the kitchen and things like that. The village relies heavily on government and council funding, donations. Because why the volunteers is, there's a lot of things that need to be upgraded and it costs money. But when you come and have a look, you can see it's just so worthwhile coming down, and they do such a great job. The volunteers here and the executive. And here's the cookhouse area, all-day breakfasts and hot dogs and bacon and egg rolls, all the good stuff. I'll be coming back here later. Now the village itself is situated across the road from Nada Lagoon, which is a very significant area and sacred area of the local indigenous people. Now this was a home, a cottage that was typical of the ones that the early settlers built. And you can hear the amazing bird life flying around in the background. Now this little cottage has always fascinated me, and it was the first building I ever drew of the village. And it's the Pioneer slab hut, originally the home of the Desjardins family, and they were a pioneering family from Mount Moore. And it wasn't until after I'd finished filming in here and went outside and that I got told there was a couple of snakes seen in there. Well, I didn't see anything. And up there's the original wooden roof tiles. They're covered with iron on the outside just to protect them. When I visit these places, I try to imagine myself as being invisible. And in my mind I see the people just going about their daily activities. It's an amazing place. And what they've done is, it's made from the ironbark slabs, and they put newspaper on hessian. They put hessian down first, and then they put newspaper over it, just with paste, just to keep it warm in the winter. Now, I actually met the son of a lady that used to live in this house. He was telling me all about it, and unfortunately, I didn't get all of his details. Although he did buy one of my prints of the slab hut, because everyone wants to know more about it, more about the families that live there. So that was a bit slack on my behalf, but I still might be able to track him down on Facebook. Now this is an ant bed clay baker's oven, and built not far from here in a little place called Blenheim in 1931. Now it was made from ant bed nest mud and used until 1945 for baking bread. And you see these ant nests dotted around the paddocks, and they get quite big, over a metre tall, some of them. There's a great community spirit here, and I've always found the volunteers that give up their time so freely to be always helpful and extremely knowledgeable. I've drawn most of these buildings. They're all thunderbox, which every house had. The jail. Are you just out for the day, are you?
No, we live here.
They might let you out for the day. Oh, you're making a damper on that? Damper?
Eventually.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get organised soon.
Up there, serving table.
And this, you're making the billy tea and everything?
Well, we can do.
Yeah. These old pioneers, they certainly drank a lot of billy tea. And what a great setup they've got here. And that's exactly how it would have been. There's something about an open fire that, you know, to cook on and brew tea on. I just love it. I love the smell of it as well. I think I saw you in the paper the other day.
Oh, did you?
Did you?
Yes.
You didn't turn the page over pretty quick,
No,
though.
because I was on the same page next to you.
Go home.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we had a bit of...
Morning, John.
How are you, mate?
Well, very well, thank you.
Doing well.
Hello, what we got going on here? Hey, Barry.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, excellent.
You're looking well. The bloke made me a video here. I thought it was pretty good.
So desired.
Oh,
This is a
look at that, eh?
gouge. And I'm going to start the machine up.
Yep, that's Barry.
Just like a cold plane. This one here doesn't have a motor.
Rick, the computer whiz, he set up monitors in various parts around the village and played, well, they continuously loop the interviews that I did with some of the volunteers, if you might remember.
How you doing?
Good, good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
What's, so, I have seen you here before.
Yeah, I come here every now and again. I can't stay very long because I got an appointment with the client taking mini access up at Ipswich, so we're going to
okay.
Card game, so fire up for a couple of hours. So.
But you got it all going, oh yeah. It's a lost art, isn't it? Or
Yeah, I think it's coming back a bit now with all the Netflix and all the documentaries and on TV and that, making knives and that. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, all the knives and swords and all the cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are getting back into it.
How long have you been doing this for?
Oh, I done my blacksmithing when I done my apprenticeship back in probably 2000, 20 plus years ago. So,
Yeah.
I don't do it full time. I do a lot of other things, but it's good to get out there and do it every now and again, you know.
Yep. And what do you sort of make?
Generally, I like making wraparound axes. My thing that I do, two-piece axes, so you wrap around steel, forward welds a blade, and then fit a handle to it. That's my favourite thing to make. Other than that, ornamental stuff, just twisty stuff, that they hang on walls and that, just for decoration, that sort of thing. But try to do like commercially the best thing to do commercially, just like putting edges on crowbars, regular chisels, all the boring stuff.
Okay.
But when you're doing something for yourself, just making something look twisty and cool, it's pretty good.
I have watched that program when they're making knives, and how do they do it? I mean,
there's a few of them on there now, so it is.
Oh, yeah. There's so much work. I like playing around with wood, and I've never had anything to do with metal, but I admire it, I love it.
Yeah, and it's the smell of the burning wood as they walk in there. It's just like makes you feel at home with it. It's just the smell of the smoke and the fire and the banging of the banging of that. It's therapeutic about it,
And it's what you hear too, in the old movies and that. Well, not old, but about old times. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think it's coming back a bit now. The young fellas getting a bit interested in it, I think. So, but there's a lot of things I can do on this forge that you can't even do in a CNC machine when it comes to making complex shapes and that. You can't do it a lot easier. One piece, instead of casting and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it just depends on your patience, I suppose.
Well, a bit like me with my art, it took me. I didn't start until I was in my 50s, and I think now I wasn't ready before, and I was too scared. You had to be, born that way, or you had to have arty parents, but really it's just how you apply yourself. People say, oh, you got to have talent, and they say, oh, you got to, but you don't have to. The talent will come.
Keep doing something long enough.
Yeah.
But these days I talk a lot about complexity and complexity theory, where doing something is harder to do. It's harder than many to do something extra, like a blacksmithing. You've got to learn a new skill, you've got to do something, but the rewards of that far outweigh, the time it takes to manage, you know what I mean? So adding complexity to your life by getting a hobby or a side hustle like blacksmith, you can make a bit of extra coin or whatever. But by doing that, and if you can manage it within your life and not get too stressed out about it, then you're creating greater well-being outcomes for yourself, So.
Yeah. No, you did right. You did right.
And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's blacksmithing or car rebuilding or anything,
I'd have to agree there. Oh, here's Mr. President. How are you, Carl?
Good, mate. What's going on here?
Oh, there's a lot going on here.
Okay, I'm giving away free dinner. What do you want for dinner?
Oh, that's alright. I've got to go soon anyway. I can't stay long. I've got an appointment.
You've got an appointment?
Yeah, I can't stay for now.
We can give you an appointment for a hamburger and egg down there, or bacon and egg roll, or something. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I can't give anything away here.
You can give me something.
Would you what?
I could get a big breakfast. I was running late this morning. What about my sidekick up there? He's looking after the store while I'm here. Can he get one? Oh, thank you, Carl. Appreciate that.
Okay. Any more? What about this lovely lady here?
Yes.
She would like a hamburger with an egg, I think, or bacon egg roll.
Oh,
or
at the loft.
You want the yeah? Well,
Barbecue
you'll agree.
sauce and well done onions. That'd
Well
be
done,
great.
onion. Okay, we can do that.
Oh, awesome.
I'll be playing the 70s music in the schoolroom.
Oh, lovely. I'll be right outside. Well, there's just so much more to see, and I just thought we'd leave it here for today. There's always another day. I shall be back. Like I said at the beginning, it's hard to imagine that the village is run entirely by dedicated, mostly retired volunteers. And like any business, whether it's run by volunteers or not, there has to be a chain of command. And as such, they have an elected president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and they even have a publicity officer. They're all part of the executive committee. They're the ones that make all the executive decisions. So I take my hat off to these amazing people. Imagine if we had no pioneer villages, places to take our children and their children. Because I believe that the past, in historical sense, is just as important as the future. We need to know what our ancestors did, how they lived and survived. They're the ones, those early settlers, that came from whatever country for whatever reason and paved the way for us to try and give us a better future from where they came from. I've decided to make this into a 2, maybe possibly a 3-part series, because there's just so much to cover and I don't want to jam it all into one video. So be sure to come back next week when I'll be showing you some of the beautiful old vintage cars that we have in the area, among many other things. Now if you've enjoyed this video, you're going to enjoy this one next. Now don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, share it with your friends. And if you haven't yet subscribed, hit that button, click on all, that way you'll get notified every time a new video comes out. Well, that's about it for this week, my friends. Stay safe out there, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.